3, 2, 1.
Hello, awesome dog moms and dog dads all around the world.
Today we're in Orlando and we're going to speak with Dr. Fasano all about allergies in dogs, so stay tuned.
Earlier this year, we realized the number of dogs who struggle with allergies is on the rise. More and more dogs are battling with itchy skin, ear infections, upset stomachs, and other signs of allergies.
In hopes of making your dog feel better, you may have tried out every hyperallergenic dog food on the market, probably used steroids and antibiotics, but the problems kept coming back. We sat down with holistic veterinarian Dr. Fasano in Orlando to speak about this topic.
We wanted to know why so many dogs are suffering from allergies, in what ways we can help our dogs long term, and how we can prevent allergies in the future.
We have these cells called mast cells, which are our histamine secreting cells. People, they're mostly in our lungs. So when we have an allergy, we cough, we sneeze, we do all these things. Dogs tend to manifest a lot of their symptoms on their skin. That's what we see as skin problems, itchy skin, red skin, rashes, licking the paws, ear infections, gooting the rear end. They could also have upset stomachs too. All those things are signs of allergies of some sort. But some dogs have lung problems too. There are some mast cells there that cause some coughing and sneezing with them too, but it's not as common as skin problems. As puppies, they're exposed to vaccines given at maybe too early of an age, or too many vaccines at one time sort of hypersensitize the immune system. And I see food allergies certainly related, especially in young dogs. Chemicals play into effect, and certainly our food system here. There's issues with our food, and it's probably not the cleanest food, or it's GMO. Those things can cause the body to react differently to them. So pesticides on the food, certainly chemicals, GMO things cause them to be either allergic or have an intolerance.
Conventional allergy drugs are not always the best option because oftentimes they only suppress the symptoms, so we wanted to know if there's any natural methods we can use to help our dogs with allergies.
First, obviously I examine them and ask them a lot of questions, but I talk about the diet, find out what they're eating, and I almost always change the diet. If you feed the same thing over and over, they're bound to get some sort of allergy or intolerance to it. I usually recommend my clients rotate food. I'm not a fan of dry food. I think it triggers allergies. They can be allergic to just the dry food alone. Just the fact that it's dry and it sits in a bag. I always try to get them on either a homemade or home prepared diet versus a dry food diet. That alone will take care of most of the problems, just doing that. Then if that doesn't, I use herbs and acupuncture, and I have a whole treatment to treat the allergies, and then maybe we try to figure out. There are some testing that can be done for food and skin allergies, but I tend to do some elimination things first, and then I seem to get good luck with that without them having to spend money on all these testings. So steroids, are anti-inflammatory, and so they stop the inflammatory reaction that is the allergy. The red skin, the itchy skin, the rashes, whatever. They just go away. So it works amazingly well. That's why the regular vets do it, and it works quickly. The problem is if you don't get rid of what's causing the allergy, it doesn't go away. Because it doesn't do anything to cure the problem or fix the problem. So it's a temporary solution. If the allergy's still there, like say the food or the dust mites or the whatever it is, obviously they're still gonna have the rash and the itching and the whatever once these steroids wear off. So they either have to stay on steroids long term, and the problem with that is steroids affect the liver, they affect the adrenal gland, they cause side effects that are really bad over time. So it's not something they should stay on long term. And they can suppress the immune system, which is, they need their immune system to deal with this. That's not a good long-term solution.
So if conventional allergy treatments like steroids are not a good long-term solution, what do we think about hyperallergenic prescription diets that are often given to our allergic dogs?
So my experience with them, one is most of them are dry foods, which I feel like dogs are just allergic to dry foods as just in general. So, I don't think that's the best option long-term again. I don't use them, but I think they're okay to maybe diagnose an allergy, to use short-term. So some of them use these proteins that aren't absorbed properly. So It's a great way to diagnose maybe, but over time, if they're eating this food where they're not really absorbing the protein, I have seen some of them come in, they're overweight, their skin is dried out, and I really think it's from these foods. They've been on them for years, say. I think it's just meant to be kind of a temporary thing to maybe diagnose, and then they need to get on either a homemade diet or something, figure out what they're allergic to for real. A lot of times, if we can eliminate as much as we can and we do other things to help the body deal with the allergies, then the dogs do they do much better than before, and they're not on all these traditional medicines.
If a dog is eating the same thing every single day, like chicken, for example, that's something people feed their dogs every day. And now the dog has an intolerance for chicken. Does this mean that it's not reversible?
No, it doesn't. I mean, it could be. I've had animals where we just eliminated something for a while, like a couple months, a couple of years, just depending, and then I have them try it back again, and sometimes they can tolerate it again. Some dogs just seem to never be able to. So that's why rotating foods, rotating the proteins is always a good idea, unless you have a highly allergic pet that can't tolerate certain things. But it is ideal to rotate the foods and whether it's ideally homemade or different brands of food if you're going to purchase food.
And how about if the dog is allergic against things like grass?
So I have had people, they wash their paws after they come in, so they wash the pollen off, wear booties going outside. Yeah, it gets hard. There are also homeopathics for grass and things like that. They make some vaccines with from the allergy testing. You can also make a homeopathic from, which I think would be safer than a vaccine.
So now that we know what causes allergies and we have an idea about how to help our allergic dogs with natural treatments, let's have a look at what we can do to actually prevent our dogs from developing allergies in the first place.
Just starting as a puppy, not over-vaccinating. At least puppies need to have some immunity to, at least here in the United States, for distemper and parvo, and they do need a rabies shot when they're a little older, but I spread the shots out, do the bare minimum. I don't give these 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 injections. We just do way too many vaccines, so I think that sends their immune system haywire when they're little. So also trying to feed a more natural diet from the start. We should eat the same way, but if you can do organic, that would be great. If not, at least more homemade fresh foods, not so much processed, and certainly not a lot of dry food.
Today we learned that in order to prevent allergies in our dogs, we need to make sure to feed a fresh food diet, rotate foods frequently, and implement a proactive vaccine schedule with your integrative vet.
Most importantly, we learned that it definitely is possible to treat our dogs with allergies naturally.
If your dog is allergic to an environmental allergen that is not easily eliminated from the environment,
like grass, for example,
the best thing to do would be get in touch with a holistic veterinarian to speak about homeopathy and herbal treatments tailored to your individual dog.
So now we want to hear from you. Let us know in the comment section, what are your tips and tricks to deal with your dog's allergies? Let's help each other get the allergies out of our dogs.
So if you haven't already, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and like this video. See you soon. Bye. Starting to rain. Ah! Perfect, right?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I just don't know if I did too much. So let's just do it one more time.
Okay.
I want to do it again.
Okay.
Should I say all across the globe or all around?
Whatever you want, babe. I don't know.